talk about like prepping for a race week and things to do and things not to do. And so a lot of people will get into trouble race week. They'll like train really well for months, and then race week, it's like, whoa, I've forgotten everything. So they'll start, like, oh, I missed this one speed workout a month ago. I should probably go do it this week. No, you shouldn't. So I always tell everybody, you cannot increase your fitness between now and next Sunday, but you can absolutely destroy your race. So you can do too much, you can get hurt, you can do all kinds of things the other direction, but you're not going to gain fitness this week. So don't try to make up runs. Don't try to do things that you were doing the rest of this time. So nothing new on race week. It is just protocol. Go to standard protocol, what you've been doing the whole time. What else about that? Making lists. Like I start making lists like the Monday of a race. Like, these are the things I want to take with me. This is what I'm going to wear. This is what I'm going to eat the night before. And just have a plan and check your list. Make sure you practice with everything, like the clothes you're gonna wear, the shoes you're gonna wear, the socks you're gonna wear, the fuel that you're gonna use. Don't say, I'm just gonna use whatever's at the aid stations, because what if it's something you've never used before and your stomach revolts on you 4 miles into a half marathon? No. So I would say, practice with all your fueling and make sure that you take it with you so you have some on your body, whether it's in your pockets or in your pack if you're wearing a hydration pack, all that kind of stuff. Get the stuff out and organized early so you're not searching for it Saturday morning, Sunday morning when the race starts, and what did I do with that one thing I used 6 months ago?
Because it starts at 7 a.m.
Yeah, we start at 7 a.m. on Sunday. So
early.
And I always tell everybody, being there like an hour early is ideal. That's what I do. If I'm running in a race, I try to get there an hour ahead because you want to have time. You don't know how the parking's going to be. You don't know what the bathroom situation is going to be, and that is extremely important.
That is the key.
Yeah. Like, do they have porta potties? Do they have 3 or do they have 30? I mean, Bridge Street has a ton. Thankfully, they set up.
Yes.
They usually set up a ton of porta potties out there, so that's good. But you have to walk to them. I mean, you'll park, probably by the start finish, and you'll have to walk over and so make sure you give yourself time whenever you're picking up your packet if you didn't do that the day before. And then talking about like the fueling and stuff, making sure that you're not eating anything new the week of a race. I try to tell people to stay away from like high fiber things like 2 or 3 days before for obvious reasons. Hydration, it's going to be, it should be, I think 70 was like the high for the day, somewhere around there. Yeah, but we start at 7, so it'll probably be in the 40s when we start, but it'll heat up pretty quickly. So don't overdress the morning of. We always tell everybody, you should be at the start line slightly chilled. Like I want to be up there, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to run because I'm a little cool. But you don't want to be freezing, but if you're at the start line and you're comfortable, you're overdressed.
That's me.
You should not be comfortable. You should be a little chilly. I already told you, don't do anything new. Don't question yourself. You've already done it. I mean, you've done the training, hopefully. If you signed up for this race, hopefully you've already done the training. Just gotta relax. Talking about like going back to the mental part of it. I am really cheesy, and I like to do I do little note cards with positive affirmations on them. But I love that, and I will write them out, and I'll actually read them. I'll keep them in my car, and if I'm sitting waiting or something, I'll actually read them. It's like things like, you are ready for this. You are trained. You are an athlete. This, everything just positive feedback for yourself. Like I said, it's cheesy, but it works. Same thing as visualization. People like to use visualization a lot with picturing yourself crossing the finish line and being strong and feeling good through the race. Those things really make a difference. I said, knowing the race plan, pacer. We have pacers at Bridge Street. So if you want to run with a pace group, you just find them at the start and you go out there and everyone will be holding up signs. And they'll say, I'm pacing the 2:15 group, so we'll have a sign that says 2:15. So if that's your goal time to finish the race, then you'll line up with us. And you just stay with us. And then you don't have to worry about it. You're not constantly going, oh, am I on pace? You just fall in with us. And
Christy's job to watch.
I love
it's
it.
our job to watch. And we watch, trust me. There's always people that question us, but they're like, are you sure that's not too fast? Are you sure we're going to make it? Is this too slow? I'm like, your job is to not worry about it. We will worry about it. Let's see what else. Also, as far as spectator spots, if you have family wanting to come and cheer you on, letting them know here's some really good spots, you can come and watch us and cheer us on. This race isn't as bad because it's a small race and everyone can be right at the finish line, but a bigger race, you want to coordinate with your family and this is where we're going to meet when the race is over. Otherwise, you're tired and wandering around where are they? I need my water. I need my key, whatever it is. So make sure you have a plan for where your people are going to meet you. We as runners during a race, we want spectators out there.
Yeah.
We want people cheering and yelling, and a lot of the races will put your name on your bibs, and it's even better.
Or on
then,
your arm.
yeah, you could do that. So random spectators are like, "Go, Christy!" And you're like, "Thank you, thank you. I don't know you, and that's awesome." So I don't remember if they do that or not here, but that's always fun. Let's see, want to talk about planning your meal the night before. Again, just being cautious about what you choose. But it's very simple, easy process food.
So what about carb loading that every
Yeah, that we,
Michael
yeah.
Scott. Michael Scott.
Okay.
The Office.
Oh, we have been talking more about like the day before, getting in some extra calories, mostly from carbs. You don't want to like overload, obviously, like going and eating a big pasta dish. Typically, it's just more maybe adding in some lower fiber fruits, rice, things that are really easy to process. So you don't want to go have like a big bowl of fettuccine Alfredo Friday or Saturday night. So you want something that's still easy to process, but you will want some extra carbs like the day before to kind of help you get those glycogen stores up, because you're going to burn them up. And then just as important to have them right after the race and the next day. So you get an excuse to eat a little extra the day before and the day after, which is always kind of nice. Let's see, hydration. I'm going to hit on that a lot. Water and electrolytes, especially as the temperatures start to increase. We want to make sure we're getting electrolytes in. And you just kind of have to find what works for you. Not everybody likes the same thing, and there's a million different kinds out there. And like I know like Fleet Feet has like individual ones of different flavors and different types, so you can go and buy a whole bunch of them and just try them out. Or if you know what they're going to use on the race course, you could go and buy it and practice so you have what you're going to be using during the race. I lay everything out like the day before. I'm one of those people. I have from head to toe. I'm like, this is the hat I'm wearing, this is the sports bra I'm wearing, this is the top, the shorts, the socks, everything is laid out. My bib has the safety pins attached to it, sitting right next to it. And the less you have to think about that morning, the better off you will be. Going back to, again, being relaxed and calm. Like, I'm totally ready. Here's my bag of my stuff for after. I'm ready to go. So I try not to wait until the morning of. The day before, some people like to run the day before a race. Some people like to take a rest day. I say if you're gonna take a rest day, you should at least go for like a brisk walk or something, just to move your body and also to kind of clear your mind. It gets rid of race nerves. And I always run. I do like a 30-minute just shakeout run. Very relaxed, kind of like what we just did. Just very easy conversational pace, just so that I can just clear my head and be ready to go the next day. Check the weather and plan accordingly. We talked about, being ready for warmer weather. I will say the best thing, like if it's gonna rain, is to have a hat or a visor, just something to keep that rain out of your face, because that gets super annoying when it's pouring in your face and you can't see. So just know what the weather is going to be for you, but also don't freak out about it because you have no control over it. And let's see, race morning. Eat your breakfast that you're used to eating. I have my people sometimes practice a week or two before, like a total race replication. Like, okay, I want you to eat what you're going to eat the night before the race, the night before your run. I want you to eat the same breakfast you're going to have on race day, and I want you to practice all this stuff and see how it works for you. Don't do anything new. Don't decide to go through McDonald's drive-thru on the way to the race if you've never done that before. If you've done it before and it works.
That's not your normal routine.
Yeah. Do what you're used to. I like to take away throwaway stuff. So like if it's cold at the start, like if it's a little chilly, you can take like throwaway shirts, like maybe some free shirt you got somewhere, and they'll take them and collect them and they donate them. So it's not like they're just gonna go in the trash. So you can take those, maybe throw away gloves. People have those like cheapos that you can get places, and if you get hot, you just throw them next to an aid station and they'll collect all of it for you. The restrooms, of course, very important. I like to have something to eat right before the race start. So I'll eat my breakfast before I leave my house, and then right before the race start, I'll have typically like a rice cake with honey or a honey stinger waffle, something like that that's just gonna give me a quick energy source so that I'm ready to go. And then I try to fuel, I get everybody to try to fuel 45 to 55 minutes, every 45 to 55 minutes during a race. So it depends on how long you're gonna be out there, but you need to be fueling. Warm up properly if you want. You can do some mobility work. I mean, just doing like squats and lunges and things like that, just to get some movement, some blood flowing. Have a post-race snack waiting for you, usually some kind of protein and some kind of carbs to wait as soon as you finish your race. You have some fuel in you. Thank all your volunteers. I know we talk about that, when you're running by and the police are stopping at the intersections and they're protecting you. I always try to make it a point to say thank you to every one of them. And they always appreciate it. I think, again, Huntsville is very fortunate to have a really strong running community, and that includes our police department. They're just they cheer. They don't just stand there. I've been at races before where they're just standing there and you say thank you and they're like, mm-hmm. Here, we start to come and they're like, good job, you got it. They're just super enthusiastic. So, and then when we say thank you and they're like, you're welcome. We have a very great community here for the runners. So be happy. We just had this conversation about smiling on the hills yesterday at Pill Hill. Like, if you're out there with a grumpy face and frowning, you're not going to have a good race. You're just not. Or a good picture. Important. Be happy. I mean, you have the ability to be out there running, and be happy that you're out there, and just, talk to the people around you. We have fun. If you have somebody you go by and they look like they're struggling, give them a little word of encouragement, because you never know, it may be exactly what they needed. Like, they're having a down moment and you're like, hey, we only had somebody yesterday. Prime example, I told you about that guy. It was like half a mile from the finish at the Pill Hill race, and he was walking, and it was flat, and we had run all these hills, and he was right with me the whole time. So he was running, and I ran by him. I said, we have half a mile left. You've got this. And he's like, okay. And then he passed me. So, but I was like, he was totally fine. He was walking just because he was tired, I think, and it's like, see, and that made me feel better too. I'm like, okay, so he started running again. So, be a good, positive influence out there. And that's pretty much it for a race. Getting ready for the race, getting through the race, and enjoy the finish and what you've done. And don't worry about, when the first thing a lot of people say, well, so what's next? Like, I don't know yet. I just want to relish in the fact that I just finished this. So,
Fuel during the race, mostly carbs, all carbs.
Mostly carbs. I do, everybody's different. Again, you have to practice with what works for you. I do like the Honey Stinger waffles and Honey Stinger gels, because they're just really simple and easy to digest. The chews, they make chews that are really good. Scratch, I like their products too, because they're very easy on my stomach. So some people we have a lot of friends who carry like dried fruit, like dried mangoes and stuff like that to chomp on.
But if you can't stomach it, you just gotta practice with it. Otherwise, sometimes, and if it's cold, you may not be able to chew.
That's true. They get hard. Yeah.
Never thought about that.
That is true. That's why I did gels, and then I got really tired of them, and then I started back with the Honey Stinger gels, and I really liked them because I can just rip it off, and it's easy, and I can stick it in my pocket. Don't throw your trash on the ground. That's your other tip. Do not leave trash on the course. We will hunt you down.
You were going to mention, what do you do after the race? What are some of the things?
Oh, recovery-wise.
Yes, recovery.
So recovery, a lot of people will go and I walk. Like, I usually, as soon as I get home, I'll get my dogs and go for a walk, like really nice and leisurely, do some yoga, some stretching, all that good stuff. Just really taking advantage of those warm muscles and getting some mobility stuff in. And then I do restorative yoga mostly. It's stuff where you're on the ground, doing some nice deep stretching. I do Epsom salt baths, and then I put compression socks on, and I actually go to bed with them on. I don't sleep all night in them because I get hot, but about halfway through the night I take them off. But I'll go to bed with compression socks on, and those really help a lot too. And the next day, move. Get up and walk. Some people, cycle, something really easy and low key. I don't typically run, but some people do. It just depends on their bodies. But I'd say definitely the more you move, the better. You don't want to just sit, because that's how you get stiffer and stiffer, and you're going to be more sore. So, active recovery.
So is this for a marathon, 26 miles, or is this for?
Any of them.
Okay.
Any of them. I mean, like